In a world of waiver wires and trades, where every Sunday is a battle, one person's decisions can mean the difference between glory and crushing defeat. This is Meet the GM.
So, hi there, and welcome to episode 5 of Meet the GM. And today I'm joined by a new member, Nick. How's it going today?
Hello, very good, thank you, Johnny. Hello, everybody else. How you all doing?
What's the top you're wearing?
I am wearing a Malmo FF top, which
Nice.
I used to live down in the south of Sweden, and I fell in love with Malmo. Who are not I'm not a main football team or anything, but when you live down there, there's not much else to do or support, so you end up rooting for the local team.
Well, you do, that's the thing. Obviously, I don't do that because obviously my local team would be Inverness or Ross County, and that's like 100 miles away.
Yeah, I was going to say, local is a figurative speech in that way. It's quite a long way.
It's a couple of hour drive in a boat for my lot. So my team's even further away, but no. So obviously, whereabout are you from?
I am from Oxford, in the wonderful county of Oxfordshire. Well, I'm actually not from Oxford. I'm from a small town outside of Oxford. But if I say the name of that small town, pretty much everybody who's watching this, apart from maybe one other person who's also from that same town, will have no idea where it is. So I'm from a small town called Wantage.
I was about to say it's not Wantage, is it? I've been there.
You've been to Wantage? I'm so sorry.
It was that's really, I was thinking, when you said that, it's got to be Wantage. Because when we got married, we had a friend who used to drink in the pub I worked in, her daughter was a flower girl, and they moved down to Wantage.
Wow.
So we went down to visit them one time. That is freaky.
Yeah, there you go. That's where I'm from. That's where I grew up, and when my mum and dad got married many years ago, and where where at least one other owner in this setup is from as well, and we'll get on to him later.
That is totally freaky. Wait till I tell the wife that afterwards, because when we went there was is it not like a big car manufacturing place near?
Yeah, they used to have well, they've got a few. There's you used to have MG based down in Abingdon, but that was quite a long time ago. They shut down.
Yeah, it would have been about 22, 20, maybe 24 years ago or down that way.
So then the other ones you've got nearby are Mini, which is in Botley in Oxford, which is obviously they make minis. There's quite a lot of those. And
they're not very mini anymore though.
No, but I also work for a car company, so
cool.
And our cars are even bigger. And then the other big thing they have there is Williams Formula One team is based in just outside of Wantage in Grove.
That'll be the one that I'll probably remember. Yeah, it was just a member saying, "Oh, look at that!" But yeah, no, because we had a couple of trips into Oxford because we were down for the week.
Oh, nice!
So
it's a nice part of England. I think it's. I'm very biased, but I think it's the nicest city in England. Not that I've been to all of them, but it's the nicest I've been to.
But yeah, it's probably one of the nicest ones I've been in. But obviously,
yeah, it's a nice spot. I miss it actually because I don't live there now. I live in Gothenburg, or just outside of Gothenburg in Sweden, and I work for Volvo, who are based here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't get home as much as I'd like to these days. I actually think I might be one of the few people in this league who's even further north than you are.
Is it more Gothenburg, more north than north?
Must be pretty close.
That'd be pretty close, yeah.
I'm gonna have to look on a map to check, but I reckon
it's probably not far off. Actually, yeah.
Gatch is one of the other Lebanese. He's about 20 kilometers north of me, so
he might be more. Yeah,
he might take it.
I know it's pretty mental when you joined, because obviously I was speaking to Gatch about that before. How the only country I've ever been abroad is Sweden, 3 times, and twice we came via Gothenburg.
Yeah.
and once we came via Stockholm, which was beautiful. Like, I mean,
Stockholm's nice.
Went to the Vasa Museum, but Catherine was actually about 7.5 months pregnant at that time. We came after a London game. So, and then we got the train down because we wanted to try the trains because they look so nice. And it's a fair trek to get into the things, like, but they are nice trains.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They make the intercity look a bit shit. I'll give you that.
Oh, that's not really hard, though, is it? But, and obviously, when the first time we went to the original IKEA because you have to do it, you know.
Yeah.
Because we were staying at Husqvarna, so.
Yeah, well, which is weird because Husqvarna, my wife studied at university in Jönköping, which is next to, for those of you who don't know, Husqvarna is a small town. They make motorcycles there, Husqvarna motorcycles and chainsaws and all sorts of other
gardening stuff.
Gardening stuff as well, yeah. And that's next to Jönköping, which is where my wife studied. So you have been there, which is not many other people have been there. It's not a very big place.
It's not a big place, like, but it's quite nice, you know. And
by the lake.
We got my friend. She got married in Husqvarna, so we stayed in like a hostel the first time I went there.
Yeah,
and it was really nice. Like, but it was different. That's when we first realised that Swedish people don't queue for things; it's bars right past you to get to the till. You're standing there, and it's right through you. Like, okay, no bother.
Yeah.
But we got to play. We got to play golf the second time we went in Gothenburg.
Oh, nice.
It was a nice golf course, like, but man, it's like coming from Orkney, where most of the women that play golf are in their 60s and 70s, to go to Gothenburg when they're all about 19, 20. You're like, what is going on?
Yeah, man, Swedes, they
like their golf.
They like their golf. They like all things outdoorsy. They're very outdoorsy people, actually.
Yeah.
They're very, very fit and healthy. I don't know why I'm here. I don't fit in very well.
They can't afford to drink, that's right.
You can't afford to drink, yeah, it's true.
But I remember because the first time I went, you've got to have a handicap to play the 18 holes. There was a golf course. There was a golf course outside Jönköping, and they had a par 3 course in the middle, and you couldn't play on the main course until you broke a certain score on that course. That's how the courses look so nice. But
we've got a big golf course in the town I live in, and I've never played. I'm terrible at golf. I can barely hit the ball. I
haven't played for a long time.
It's supposed to be very nice.
Yeah, apart from the snakes in the bushes, which I put up all in the bushes and I'm walking about. My mate Craig is banging the bushes. I said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, there might be snakes." "So I forget about it. I'll get another ball." It's like, no.
That's my biggest issue we have here is not snakes. It's wild boar. We have loads of boar problems around here. They dig up your garden. I guess they dig up the golf course as well.
They probably do. I never got to see one of them though. So
no.
Thankfully,
I think I'd rather the snake than the boar. Boars are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, they could be quite grumpy.
They are. They're quite aggressive. They smell bad as well.
Grumpy. They're a bit like pigs. So can they smell too? Hairy. We got some hairy pigs in Orkney. So there you go. They've like got a wiry fur.
We're talking about the golfers again, Johnny. Are we talking?
No. The hairy pigs are nicer looking. And anybody from Orkney that sees this, do not tell anybody at the golf club. Anyways, so we'll get back on topic there. So what is your OrkneyBowl team name? Because apparently I've said it wrong twice.
Okay. So I'm from a town between Gothenburg, but there is already a team from Gothenburg, as some of you probably know. The next town nearest to me, which is I'm on the road to that town, is a town called Borås. Which is B-O-R, which is an A with a little circle over the top. Borås, and then the second word is stampede. And I say that because I'm from Oxford and I'm an Oxford United fan, despite my Malmo FF top. And Ox's stampede, Borås. It just kind of felt like a good name. So Borås stampede. Borås.
Right, I'll try and get that one right. I'll watch it a couple of times before we got this.
Borås stampede.
Luckily, most people can't understand me anyway, so it's okay. I can get away.
No, I was going to worry I was going to have subtitles. I'll be honest with you, Johnny.
That's okay. I can get the thing to subtitles afterwards. I can add it on and make sure it's spelled right. But yeah, it's sorry, coughing away here.
Right.
So how long have you followed the NFL then?
So I was trying to work this out, and I started loosely following the NFL when I was about 10 or 11, I think, because the Cowboys were really successful at that time. And that's about the last time they were successful. And I did that because my uncle lived, weirdly, he lived in Houston. But Houston didn't have a team at the time because, well, they did have a team. They had the Oilers, but they kind of buggered off and went to Tennessee. And so I picked the Cowboys because they were better and because Dallas Cowboys were famous and winning everything. Little did I know that that was going to be a terrible mistake. And then I went to university in Aberystwyth in Wales, and I actually played a bit of football. I played for Tirannai Aberystwyth college team there. Played 2 seasons until several bad back injuries and a bad set of concussions and things made me have to stop. I was also crap.
What position did you play?
I played line. I was left guard mostly, left tackle, left guard. I was rubbish, but I was very good at pushing people over. I'm quite a big guy, so it kind of worked quite well. But yeah, that was fun, and I kind of got into it then, and obviously spent a lot of time watching games, and I kind of drifted out of it for a bit. And then when I moved back to Sweden, I got back into it probably about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And started doing fantasy sports and watching it on Red Zone and hanging out with my mates, having a pizza, having a beer, watching the games. So on and off for quite a long time.
Cool.
But probably only really intensively over the last sort of 10 to 12 years.
I remember the first time I got Game Pass, way before it was Dan DAZN or what it was called, was when I was in Sweden, because I used to watch bits of it on Channel 4 and that, and my mate Craig from Glasgow, he married my friend Kristen from Sweden, and he told me about it. So I registered while I was in Sweden. So when I moved back to the UK, I could watch every game. There was no blackouts. And I couldn't figure out why I could watch every game, but nobody else could. It was on Game Pass.
Well, we still don't get the blackout games here.
No. But when I changed the zone, it wouldn't let me because I was in the wrong region. So I had to change the new account to the UK. It's because my registered account was still in Sweden. That's why I was getting no blackout. You could watch any game. It was brilliant. But
the old Game Pass. So there was old Game Pass. They changed the app and it was rubbish. And then they moved to DAZN.
Yeah.
But the first app that I used was brilliant, and it was so easy to use. You could go and look. You could go and search for a player. You could pick up all of the players' plays, individual highlights from that specific person or a specific. It was amazing. It was so much better experience. And I don't know what they did to it, why they changed it, but it's just got worse and worse. People have a lot of problems with DAZN. Generally, it works quite well for me, I think.
I don't have any problem with it, to be honest.
No. But I'll be interested to see what happens now with this whole ESPN Disney thing. I see that Disney have now got a lot of the college games on here as well. So I wonder if it will end up migrating over to Disney Plus or something, or via ESPN.
I know Disney Plus, and over here you've got the Women's Champions League, I think, but there's not any. I didn't see any college games, but DAZN here had a lot of college games for free. But I'm guessing next year you'll have to pay for it, probably.
Yeah, so they had them. I think they had them about halfway through last year. They started moving a lot of the college games over to Disney. But yeah, so yeah, I know. I will wait and see. My cousin, my uncle, who was in Texas, his son's daughter is now at Texas A&M, so I've got a good reason to support the Aggies. So
that's a good enough reason.
Yeah. I've really kind of struggled to find a college team. I went to the UCF game a couple of years ago, which was good, and I was quite like the Knights down there. I've been to Hawaii a few times. I quite like watching Hawaii. Though the time zone watching Hawaii is horrible.
Yeah.
And I've not really kind of really felt the college vibe that much, but I'm quite looking forward to watching maybe a few A&M games next year and enjoying that. And now I've got some good reason to root for them.
Besides, well, I sort of follow Michigan State Spartans
Yeah,
because I met a friend from Orkney. I went to the Giants Dolphins game in 2007, and we met up with Brian from Orkney and a couple of his friends. It was at Wembley, and one of them was a Spartans fan, and we got on really well with him. But he worked at Bath University, but he studied in America at Michigan State, so that's why I sort of follow them. I mean, they're not very good, but Ken. They did bring out Kenneth Walker, so you can't argue that one for
What's your NFL team?
Behind you, New York Giants.
Oh yeah, of course. Stupid. Sorry. Well, we can talk shit about each other as much as you like, or alternatively, we can badmouth the Eagles. I'm happy with either.
Oh, there's always room to badmouth the Eagles. I don't badmouth I used to say the Redskins. I still want to call them Redskins all the time, but the commies. But because I did in the probably late 80s, I did have a soft spot for them because I liked the way they played. But I still prefer the Giants. But
slightly troublesome naming of the franchise aside. I think I don't dislike the commies. I think their old owner was Dan Snyder, who's a horrible man, but I kind of feel a bit sorry for them. Kind of plucky underdog in a way. The Giants, I mean, I think Giants are just a badly managed franchise, but then again, I'm a Cowboys fan. I know all about badly managed franchises.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is not. He was good when he first came because he helped, but he's not. He's bonkers.
Sort of. I don't know. I don't know. I think he just got lucky and conned the Vikings over the Herschel Walker trade and kind of got lucky from that point onwards, and it's just fallen apart consistently for 30 years since. So
he should really just sell it. Ken, I know he's no good for them now. He doesn't do anything really, but he'd want far too much money to buy them.
The thing is, he's not interested in winning. He's interested in running the business. And as much as we can sit and take piss out of him for not winning enough games, enough playoff games, we win a lot. We win a lot of regular season games. We've got a pretty good record. We're never terrible, really. There's a couple of seasons where we've been bad. Last season being one of them, but generally speaking, we're okay. We're in the top third of the league, but we just fall to pieces when it comes to anything important. But Jerry doesn't care. Jerry's main objective with that team is to make money, and he's made that the biggest sports franchise in the world for the last whatever many years it is. They're worth a fortune. They sell a lot of stuff. They've got a great big stadium. They've got a big it's all, the only thing they care about is making money, and that's fine. Right. And I think if with Jerry and the Cowboys, you just got to kind of look at it from a different perspective. In that, I don't think it's right, but he clearly just doesn't really matter to him whether we win or lose games, because if it did, he would relinquish control and he would realize that he's not the person to do it. But it's either ego or selfishness or both.
Probably,
that I think is probably holding him back.
Well, then you've got to think, if they went to win the Super Bowl, how much money you'd have to fork out for more different players, and because it's a vicious circle. When you go win the Super Bowl, everybody wants a lot more money than what he's given them.
Yeah.
So,
but I also think there's an element there of the narrative that he can sell as this team that's always kind of pushing to get over the hill, and it collects a lot of eyeballs, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. He's making money hand over fist. There's no reason for him to change the way it is. But maybe in his twilight years now, because he's getting on a bit, you just see a change in the perspective that he has on how he thinks about the team. But I'm not convinced.
No. Well, it is, obviously being a Giants fan, it is quite funny watching it unfold. And every year, I'm going to go all in, and doesn't sign anybody. You're
we're going to go all in. The last time that we paid over 10 million for a free agent was 2017. It's nothing. So
it's
we go all in. Hard Brian Schottenheimer.
It is funny though, because it is a standing joke for the Cowboys. Like, this is our year. This is our year.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can
But
remember
you've got to be optimistic.
Our year can mean a lot of things, man. It's like it could be our year to fuck it up again. It could be our year to.
No, that's our year. We fuck it up every year.
Hey, you've got over your biggest mistakes at least. Did you get rid of the GM who got rid of Barkley and signed Daniel Jones that massive contract?
I think we've still got the GM, but he has no say basically. I think, if I can get this right, Harbaugh met with Mara.
Yeah.
And he speaks directly to Mara.
Yeah.
So
how do you
Shane's a chair for like making the tea.
How do you feel about this Harbaugh thing?
I'm not sure yet. It's scam. I mean, you won't know until we start playing, but
I think,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think he's in for a bit of a shock. If you can't win the league with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry,
yeah,
I'm not sure that Scatterboo and what's the QB's name again?
Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's going to be enough to push him over the edge, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's because it's a tough division as well, though, obviously, because yourselves, well, you've got a good offense. Defense was a bit awful last year because even we scored against you. But
I made everybody score against us last year.
It was always entertaining, put it that way.
It was at one point in the year when I think of that many games played, I think we were like the 4th or 5th worst defensive team in the NFL all time. No, and I mean that genuinely. The stats were like 4 teams and then the Cowboys. And weirdly, like the next 3 teams were also the Cowboys. It's just like we're terrible.
Yeah, well, you had to shoot out with us when Wilson went absolute mental in probably one of his last games. Then the Bears went mental on you as well. Was that the week later or a week before?
Yeah. That Bears game was.
That was a weird one. That one. But, yeah.
The Bears are good now. I think I give the Bears a bit of a pass.
They are. They did pretty well last year, but they can keep it going.
There were so many games last year. It's just, we'll come on to who Dallas needs to draft, but there'd be no surprises. And
yeah.
Where?
Yeah, obviously, we've got on the next couple of questions. So obviously, we know you're a Cowboys fan, but I knew that beforehand when you said you were going to talk about Jerry.
Yeah, so, I am a Cowboys fan.
I've been a Cowboys fan. I've been a Cowboys fan for a while. Because the last couple I've not had much of a chance because I've not watched it for that long. But who's your favourite player from your team from the past? Because you have a lot of good players to choose from.
Favourite player from the past? There are a lot of good guys to pick from. I think, when I was very young, I would have said probably Irving or Aikman. Aikman was the man, and he was a great player. I think if we come a bit closer, I think Murray, the running back, was great. I loved watching him. He was brilliant. I'm a big Romo apologist. Even as a commentator, I think he's pretty good. I think maybe he's kind of lost his interest in it a little bit last year or so, but I still think as a quarterback, I stand by this, I think he was underrated. Never really put in a great position to succeed. And when he was at the end of his career, he was really good, and then he just kept getting hurt. And his body basically gave up. So yeah, I like those guys. I think if you want a slightly more obscure pick, Lee, linebacker, middle linebacker, he was great. Really commanding player in the centre of the field. Really good fun to watch. Yeah, I like my running backs. I like my linebackers. I like my quarterback, obviously.
Jason Witten was good.
I love Jason Witten. I should have said Jason Witten.
Not when he played us, because he always scored against us, but he was a good player.
No, actually, I should have said Jason Witten. Jason Witten is my favourite Cowboys player, actually. And I have got a Jason Witten shirt upstairs, which I should have worn for this.
I nearly wore a Giants top, but I wore my rainbow ball that my daughter tie-dyed for me.
So. Very nice top. I thought it was a rainbow. I thought it was the band.
My daughter tie-dyed it, rainbow colours as well, so it's quite smart.
It is very good.
But yeah, I thought you'd have a Cowboys top on, so I thought, well, I put the
No, I
Giants
should have.
stuff on or not.
I
But
didn't
no.
think about that. I should have worn my Witten top, but no, Witten was great. Like he was slow, very slow,
Yeah,
but
he was-
weirdly always open. Like you could never cover him. Like I don't know why it wasn't athletic. You know, you look at the tight ends you have in the league today. I mean, they're just like absolute machines. You know, you're looking at Kittle or you're looking at Kelsey or Pitts or whoever it is. You know, these massive, great big athletes.
he's like the old man walking past with a Zimmer. And then going,
Yeah, like Jason Witten would be kind of like trundling out there, jogging lightly down the sideline, but he'd still have like 5-10 yards space over everybody else. He was just so smooth in his route running. He was a good blocker too. So yeah, Jason Witten, good shout. I like Jason Witten.
I'm glad to help there. But yeah, like DeMarco Murray, he was good, but they ran him into the ground that season. Was it 200 odd carries?
Yeah. And then who did we flog him off to? We sent him somewhere.
Was it the Titans? Yeah, I think it was the Titans. Yeah, he did okay there, but yeah, he was just might have been over 300 carries he had. They just basically gave him the ball because he was out of contract after that. You know, not so.
Yeah, and we had an amazing O-line that season as well, and basically he was getting 4 or 5 yards before anyone even touched him, and he was a big guy, right? So he could just smash him into people.
Did Elliott replace him?
No, we had Run DMC, so Darren McFadden came in after that.
But he was good. But he was better. Was he with the Raiders before?
He was at the Raiders, yeah. And he was all right, but he wasn't as good. And then we had the season where Romo got hurt, and we replaced him with Ben Whedon and Matt Castle.
Ben Whedon, bloody hell.
Yeah, I know. And then I think we had got the 4th overall pick. And we took Zeke. And Zeke was great fun. I mean, he's a troubled person as well, as many of them are.
He looked like a lunatic.
He
looked like a lunatic when you got a close up of his face. You thought,
well, he was a lunatic. And again, we ran him into the ground as well. Although I think we'd have been better off taking the person who I think went at 5 or 6, which was Ramsey. I think we'd have been better off going for him, and then picking up Derek Henry, who went in the 2nd round of that year.
It's crazy that like
rather had Ramsey and Henry than Elliott.
Yeah,
Zeke was great, good fun, good player to draft.
He was a good fantasy player. Yeah,
good fancy pickup. Yeah.
So obviously that's the past. So who's your favourite current player?
Favorite current player on the Cowboys. Again, it sounds like a really obvious pick, but I think Dak is a great player. He's one of I know he gets a lot of shit because he's the quarterback of the Cowboys, and I think by nature that kind of makes you a target. And he's paid far too much, but that's, again, he was given a contract. I think he's a great player, great leader. I think he could win a Super Bowl if he had the right team around him. He's a great passer. He's good with his legs. He doesn't make too many bad decisions. When you look at the picks that he's had, he had one year where he had a load of picks, but almost all of those were down to really poor route running or bad stuff bouncing off of players' hands and stuff. So I think he's good. I think Williams, running back who came in, Javonte Williams from Denver, is great last year, great fun. Weirdly, not many players on the defense at the moment really spark my interest.
I wonder why.
But yeah, I know. I guess we'll wait and see. Micah Parsons was great before he left, but I can understand why he did. I don't know. I think we've got a good team. CD Lamb's good, but I think he's actually a bit overrated. Dare I say?
George Pickens did well with Dak last year.
He did, and
you've got to keep him happy though.
Yeah, everybody says this, but is it just the fact that when you play in Pittsburgh, all the wide receivers go mad?
Well, no wonder. Look at the quarterbacks they get. You know what I mean? Yeah, Pittsburgh, to me, most of it, in my head, Pittsburgh has always been a running team that throw the ball now and again.
Yeah.
Except when Ben was here. But since then, even with Rodgers, he scored loads of touchdowns, but usually from 3 yards out after they've ran the way there.
I went to a Pittsburgh game, and we saw we saw Steelers Titans. And Mariota was the quarterback for the Titans, and it was Roethlisberger. And Brown was playing for Steelers, and I think he scored 4 touchdowns that night, and he was just unbelievable. And I think, but since then they've not really had. I think that was Big Ben's last season, and I don't think. I mean, they've had nobody since then.
It's probably
So
the
yeah,
season
I
after.
don't know. I think the whole keep him happy thing might be a bit overblown. He seems to be quite happy to be in Dallas, getting paid a lot of money, getting the ball a lot. And I think if you look at that 1-2 combo with him and CD, I think they're pretty good. So yeah, I know. I feel relatively happy with the way Dallas's offense looks, as long as everybody stays healthy. We're a bit thin at running back, maybe, but otherwise, it's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, nothing much happened to Jaden. Was it Jaden Blue, the guy they picked up last year?
Yeah, they picked him up.
There's all that hype about him, but he did nothing. He had a good last game, but that was it.
Yeah, he did. He is apparently he doesn't train very well. He's not really worked out how to be a professional yet. At least that's what I've read. So I guess we'll wait and see. Like, I think Dallas might be tempted to go and get another big bruising back in the draft. Blue's quite lightweight. He's quite a small guy. He's quite a shifty running back. I think if you want to give Williams a break, although we've just given him a massive contract, then I think you need someone other than that to step in and be able to do that job.
Because that's the thing. Your offense, obviously, your tight end's good. Burgess is a good tight end.
Yeah,
you've got running back. You've got basically a 1 and a 1A wide receivers.
Yeah,
the defensive line is still pretty good. It's just the defense.
Yeah, and yeah, we can go. I mean, Quillen Williams helped, right? But it's not enough. We got Kenny Clark as well.
Oh, from the Packers, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Packers were quite happy to see him go, so I don't know how good that is.
Yeah, well, I think he was going to get cut anyway.
Yeah.
And we picked up Rashawn Gary this year, so I know. I think the D line's looking pretty good now. I think maybe we need one more good edge player. But it's linebackers and corners and safeties that team needs. Like it's terrible. We've kind of spent a lot of time. Well, we've chopped and changed defensive coordinators a lot, and we have had this tendency to go for corners, especially who really want to make a play on the ball. So Deron Bland and Diggs be 2 prime examples. So they're always coming back. They're always looking for the ball. They don't really give a shit where their marked players going so much. They want to get the ball. They want to try and take the pick. They want to turn it back, which is a very aggressive style of play. Now, that can work quite well if you're playing a soft cover at the top and you've got safeties who are going to move in and kind of make sure that doesn't happen. We haven't got enough good safeties to do that. So every time that happens, it's the turning around, getting the move. Someone will go for a double move on them. They'll bite on it, look for the interception, and then suddenly the guy's like 20 yards down the field. Well, you're fucked. And it happens again and again and again and again. And you just have to look at any of the Dallas games last year, especially if you're not getting enough pressure because you've traded away your best lineman. Well, what the fuck do you think is going to happen?
True. Because it was there was a lot of long touchdowns scored against Dallas last year.
Yeah. It's just throw the ball deep. Dallas can't defend it. Okay.
That's basically that's all that Wilson did. You would just throw it up in the air and that was it. Go for it.
Yeah, but if you can't get enough pressure to get to the quarterback quickly, then yeah, it's just a bad combination.
Yeah. Well, there is a lot of good defenders in the draft this year, so hopefully maybe not hopefully they'll pick them up, but if they have any sense of them.
I think we need to.
The problem is they always seem to follow the Eagles.
Wow. I mean, yeah, the Eagles, man. I think Eagles are an interesting team. I think they might be in trouble this year, though. They've lost a lot of players. They've lost a lot of coordinators. I don't think Jalen Hurts is all that. I think he's a great
push.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the tush push, but I think if you've got a player that can do that and do it so effectively that nobody can stop it, really, then why not? Yeah. That said, I mean, I don't think their offense can get any worse than it was last year, considering the amount of talent they have on that side of the ball. I think Barkley will be on for a big comeback year this year. I can't imagine that he's going to be as bad as he was last year. I don't know. I think seeing what Brown does, AJ Brown does, and see if he stays there would be the interesting one. If they lose him, then I'm not sure Smith's enough to be the one. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They've got a lot of good players. I was hoping that we might pinch Dallas Goddard off them, but that didn't happen.
No,
so.
I like Dallas. I like Dallas.
Yeah, I do as well. Jerry wanted to draft him, apparently, and the Eagles traded up the pick before us to take him.
That sounds like an Eagles thing to do. Although I'm pretty sure you did that for a draft for us. You picked up one place. I kind of which draft it was, and you took the person we're probably going to get. Yeah, that
sounds about right.
You went from like 13 to 11, and we were 12 or something. But some daft thing like that.
The NFC East always just trying to play each other. They don't care.
They do a bit. Yeah, they don't care about everybody else. We just want to beat each other and hate each other. So, obviously, we know it's not going to be an Eagles player, but who's your favourite player of all time that's not been on your team, and why?
Favourite player of all time that's not on my team. Favorite current player I can give you. I think it's probably easier while I think of a better answer. The favorite current player is Baker Mayfield. I think Baker's great. I think he plays the game as I think it should be played, which is yeah, man. That guy just runs through a wall for anybody. I think he's a really great player, and he's stood by it and kind of proven himself again and again and again. To get to, he's got a good team around him now. People who believe in him. He's a great player. Seems like a nice guy as well. Favorite player all time who isn't on my team. That's a tough question.
It's a wider range.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of players. I mean, I know. I'm trying to think of someone now. I think Andrew Luck was a great guy, a great player. I think if I could have picked any player I'd like to have just dropped onto the Cowboys, probably Andrew Luck.
He might be better protected in the Cowboys than he was at the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, again, I guess I kind of have a type which is fearless quarterbacks who kind of will throw the body on the line and try and make a play no matter what. And that was probably to Luck's detriment in the end, but he was a great player.
He was a lot of people now because obviously he didn't have that long a career, but when he was playing, he was kind of awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was a very special guy. I know there's loads of little like fantasy kind of makes you kind of fall in love with like random guys. Justin Fawcett. Like I always thought Justin Fawcett was a great player. Not for because I think he was special, just because he won me a lot of games.
Well, that's the thing. Like I don't often pick Eagles players, but I have a soft spot for Brian Westbrook because when I first started playing fantasy, I got him, and he was a good fantasy player.
Yeah.
He was a bloody good fantasy player.
Yeah,
usually against the Giants, but
Well, that's the thing. You always knew which players to start last season. If they were playing Dallas, it was like, oh
yeah, that was it. You know what I mean? I was saying when you stream defenses, you pick, who's going to be playing the Jets this week? It used to be the Carolina, but they got a bit better at the end of the season. But maybe the Saints. But
yeah. Oh man, I know. I think all these things are quite good fun. But yeah, I know. I would like to have seen Luck on a better team. I've got a friend of mine here who's a Colts fan, and he's massively in love with Andrew Luck still. But there you go.
Yeah, but he did the right thing, like stopping, because he would have just been.
I think he did the right thing at the wrong time. I don't think saying you're going to retire on like the eve of the season.
Yeah.
After having gone through training camp was maybe the best move.
No, maybe should have done it at the end of the season before. But
yeah.
I thought it's a lot in his mind because obviously he loves playing. Like you say, he gives us all.
Yeah.
There might have been an element of like maybe the doctor saying, "Well, maybe you shouldn't," because you don't know if you're going to give a cabbage by the end of the season.
I think with him, it's just a question of, are you going to be able to walk anymore? It was a bit like that same thing with Romo, right? Like Romo probably could have kept playing for another year or two. But like, okay, you take another hit and you're paralyzed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm probably going to stop.
I know.
Probably going to stop.
It's like obviously the RG3's rookie season.
Yeah.
He was brilliant, and I think it was when he went for the dive for a touchdown against the Giants and got clobbered and fumbled it just before it went over the line, and he was never quite the same after that. I think he missed a few games, but he was another one. He would just dive in, not slide.
Jackson Dart's a bit like that, isn't he?
I know, that's what I'm worried about. Between him and Scatterbo.
Scatterbo is like a walking CT scan. Quick to happen. That man's insane.
He's fun to watch.
Hey, I drafted him, man. I picked him up in a dynasty league. He's very much on the roster for next season.
Yeah.
I think
in one of my dynasties, I picked up him and Jackson Dart for like the 112 or the 110 and 210. So I thought, go for it. I don't usually pick two Giants players, but I thought those two would be quite good.
Yeah. I mean, I think he'll be fine. That leg break last year, though, it's nasty.
It was.
And it's like he's sat there lying on the field, and he's like, "I'm going to try and get up and try and walk off the pitch." No, Cam, sit down.
Yeah, hold him down. Don't be stupid.
Wait for the truck.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got another one where he's a bit crazy off the field as well, though. So.
Yeah, he's
You're not taking part in wrestling and stuff like that, or something.
Yeah, and he was he went to the wrestling event like 2 weeks after he broke his leg.
Yeah, he's got his arm. He's like.
And then he did this interview the other week, and he's like saying, "Oh yeah, CTE, is that real? No, it's fake. It's an excuse." And then he's like, "What about asthma?" He's like, "No, asthma's not real either." So Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he is a bit bonkers. But like I say, fun to watch. But
yeah.
For the few weeks that he'll be able to play before he headbutts the wrong person, or.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's either going to be amazing, or he's going to end up in a hospital by like week 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any in between of those things.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously we just touched the subject a little bit before, but who do you think the Cowboys? I was going to call them Cowgirls, but I thought I better not. I'm on the show.
You can call them what you like. It's fine.
Cowgirls are going to go in the draft for this year, because what they got, 1 or 2 first-round picks?
2 firsts, and then we don't have a second, and then we've got a couple of thirds, I think.
So we'll go with the first-round picks. Who do you think we should go for?
Well, I think we need some defenders. I think we need some defense.
What pick are you at?
12 and 20, I think.
You think Sonny Styles or Downs will be there? Or hopefully Giants will go for one of them.
I think the one, like if you think about the way Jerry kind of works, I think the obvious one is Jermod McCoy. I don't know how you say his first name. And the reason I say that is that he's very clearly one of the best corners in the class, but he's coming off of an injury.
Oh, Jerry likes those.
Jerry loves a player he can take good value who's had an injury.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like the obvious shout. That I think if he's there, if he's still there at 12, or if he's there at 20, he's definitely a Cowboy. If he's there at 12, he might well be. I mean, there's other guys I think would be good. Reuben Bain would be another one. David Bailey, who I always think of like the British comedian whenever who says his name. I don't think it's the same guy.
I hope not, because he's a bit old now.
I think David Bailey's likely to go much higher, but I think Reuben Bain might be an interesting one.
I think Matthew from episode 1, he's a Bengals. He was hoping Bain would get to the Bengals.
Where the Bengals picking?
Are they 10 or 11?
The other one is
but they don't pick properly either. So.
No. I mean, they're a franchise that might be even worse run than the Cowboys. The other one is the safety, Dylan Thieneman. He could be an interesting one, but I think he especially at 20, good strong safety, play the ball, solid, can kind of come down into the box a little bit, support with a run, could be good. Yeah. And as I said, then, if you look down beyond that into the third round, I wouldn't be surprised to see sort of take a punt on a running back. Maybe someone like the guy out of A&M. What's his name? I've got it written down somewhere. Le'Veon Moss.
Oh yeah, was.
But again, like something like that later on in the round. But I mean, the first 2 picks are going to have to be defense. I can't see anything but that. Well, I say that, but it's also Jerry Jones, and if like Love falls to 12, then I guess we're probably taking him instead. So,
or he'll go pick up Sadiq at 12 or something if he makes it that far down.
I mean, what's going to sell the most shirts? That's the question you've got to ask.
Yeah. Well, winning games will sell the most shirts.
We sell shirts anyway. It just doesn't matter.
You do, actually. I think these are the richest franchise in the whole of America, you know. So,
richest sports
in the world, maybe.
franchise or team in the world, my friend.
I think the Giants were about 5th, but the Cowboys were well ahead in first.
Cowboys are massive. Like, it's crazy.
Like almost double what the second place is. They're just mental. Like.
Yeah. Which is weird because everywhere you go, everybody says they hate us. And like you kind of, especially in Europe, you kind of ostracized. Like, oh, you're a Cowboys fan. Oh.
There's a couple of Raiders fans in Orkney.
Wow.
I know. Well, one of them's actually in the OrkneyBowl. The other one worked at the hospital. They gave me a Giants top one. It was quite nice. Yeah, it's just crazy.
I mean, yeah. It's crazy, man. Raiders are a crazy team as well. It'd be really interesting to see. I guess they're going to take Mendoza.
But. Yeah, I think. Or trade out, get loads of picks. Would you fancy Cousins for a season?
Oh, I don't know, man.
You could have got Geno Smith and guaranteed the prospect next year, and you just loaded loads of picks and just kept him, got the prospect next year with a better quarterback class, and just get loads of picks.
I never bought into the whole Geno thing, right? And like, I feel a bit validated by this because Geno went from the Seahawks, and the Seahawks immediately won a Super Bowl, and he went to the Raiders, and they immediately got the first overall pick.
I don't think the team didn't help him.
He's now gone to the Jets, where he's going to get the number 1 pick again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think if you're the Raiders, you have to take the quarterback. I can't see that there's another viable choice unless somebody gives you some outstanding offer.
Which I don't think they will for Mendoza.
No, not for Mendoza.
No,
I don't think. I think everybody will just wait for next year.
He's the best in the class, but he's not. He might be the best in the class. There's 1 or 2 that are okay, but it's different playing for a team like that and going to the Raiders and playing in the NFL than playing for the Hooters.
Yeah, I mean, how many first overall pick quarterbacks really on the team that they are drafted by?
Well, I suppose you can't include Eli for that because he swapped team.
Yeah, you can't. But I think we give Eli the benefit of that, but not many of them do that well.
Even that though, Ken, Eli won 2 Super Bowls and he was fun to. But
I mean,
he wasn't my favourite player in the team when he played for the Giants.
No, but like if you think back to the players who've been taken at number 1 overall, so who's like you've got Baker, Lawrence, Darnold's won this quarterback with the Seahawks, okay, but it took him a while to get there.
Was Lawrence a prospect that?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he's getting better now though. It's taken about 4 or 5 years to get there.
Donald wasn't first overall pick though, was he?
No.
You've had Baker, you've had Jameis. Burrow's been good. But there's not that many, really. But I think it's because you end up going to a team which is just dysfunctional. And it's the team and the way the teams are run more than just a singular player that tends to be the reason that they are shit.
Yeah. It is like, it's, what's the word? Yeah, the number 1 pick for a reason, and it's not because of one player.
No, I mean, you have to be a very special talent to overcome a dysfunctional organization. Joe Burrow is probably the closest that I can think. I'm probably forgetting someone really obvious, but I think Joe Burrow is probably the best example of going from a player who's gone to a team and totally transformed them. But yeah, I know. I'm not convinced Mendoza's going to be the answer. You're going to check this on the fly for me. See who's been taking
Have a
them all.
quicker list. First overall picks. Well, nobody goes as far back as 1930.
1930s probably. There's a little bit beyond my range.
Troy Aikman was our number one pick.
He was, and I think
Drew
back
Bledsoe.
then. But Troy Aikman wasn't great in his first few seasons. It was only when we stocked up after the trade with the Vikings that he was great.
Peyton Manning.
Right.
You had a Tim Couch in 1999.
Yeah, Peyton Manning was good.
Michael Vick before he started fighting dogs. He was good. David
Yeah.
Carr.
No.
Carson Palmer was good.
He was fine. He was average.
You got the Pro Bowl 3 times. Eli Manning. Alex
Manning,
Smith.
yeah.
Alex Smith was fine, but obviously he got a really bad injury.
Yeah, and
Jamarcus Russell. It's got to be one of the worst ones.
How many of these people have actually won anything?
Oh, Matthew Stafford.
Stafford, yeah. Stafford didn't win shit at the Lions. He had to move.
No. Sam Bradford.
Goff didn't win
Rookie
shit.
of the Year. Cam Newton couldn't hit a barn door. Did get MVP, but then lost the Super Bowl. Andrew Luck, Pro Bowl 4 times, but that was it. Jameis Winston, Pro Bowl once. Jared Goff, Pro Bowl 5 times.
Yep.
Baker, Pro Bowl 3 times. Kyler Murray, little miniature Funko Pop, Pro Bowl twice. Joe Burrow, obviously got to the Super Bowl, didn't win. Trevor Lawrence, Pro Bowl once. Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, and Cam Ward. So yeah, there's not been many. There's been maybe 5.
Of those that you've just mentioned, like 3 have won anything.
Yeah, I thought you got John Elway, but that's back to 83. That doesn't really count.
Yeah.
If you want to go from, say, the year 2000, Eli Manning and Stafford are the only 2 that have won a Super Bowl, and obviously Stafford had to change team.
But I think these. I'm not saying these people are bad players. I think they're great players. I think most of them are really good. I just don't think that the individual talents of one person are enough to overcome an organizational inertia, and that's probably one of the reasons that's going to stay true. And I don't think it's going to change with Mendoza, to be honest.
No, it's not. But it might be fun to watch, but it's not going to change it much.
I mean, he's probably worth a pick for somebody in a fantasy league.
Yeah, well, that's true. But like I've done a couple of rookie drafts because Jack likes to do them really early, and I didn't pick them up on any of them because I've got good quarterbacks already. So,
if you're doing, I guess if you're doing a two QB, you're not a big 2 QB go though, right? If I understood correctly,
I'm not overly keen on it. Like I'll play them, but I try not to. I like having a 1 QB because I like to get the running backs and the wide receivers. Like my home league is a 16-team 1 QB non-PPR league. I think we're going into year 14 now.
Old school.
And it's a 2 keeper league. So that if you keep anybody, it's the first 2 picks that you use, or you don't have anybody. I think it's year like Sean Douglas, who's in the top division now. I think he's won it 4 times now. Like I won it 2 of the first 3 years, lost in 3 finals. But when you win, you have to go. The draft pick is in. The person who wins it goes last. So you're basically you're on the 16th pick for the first, second, and third round. Because it's
nasty.
Then you have the first 2 rounds and snake after that. So it's hard to get back there. But obviously, the ones that tend to trade a lot to get there, they go for it big still. Like me and Craig came 3rd and 4th last year. Sean won it again.
I think one of your questions is about how many dynasty league or how many leagues we're in. I mean, I'm in quite a few.
Cool. We'll start. We'll go. When did you first get into fantasy football then? Well, I've gone way off topic, but it's been fun.
It's fine. We're going to run over time, but that's fine. I first got into fantasy football about 10 or 11 years ago, maybe 12. And again, it's one of the other Orkney guys, Gatch, who got me into it. So I was working with him here in Sweden, and he asked me, we'd watch NFL games at his house, or his flat, and he said, do you want to join this league with a couple of guys from where he worked, which is Volvo Cars? And I did. and I did quite well. I got to the final my first year as a
Nice.
rookie. Thank you to Mark Murray and Tony Romo. I kind of got into it from there, and I've just kind of added leagues and stuff since then.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to add teams now that we're on Sleeper than it is for NFL. Because you can only have 5 teams. You had to have like 3 separate accounts.
The first one we did was the ESPN league.
Oh, I hate that league. I hate ESPN.
Yeah, and that was not as good as. So we moved over to NFL, then we moved over to Sleeper.
Because NFL rubbish lately as well. Like they just don't give a toss about it anymore. Like it's just.
I don't know. I think the NFL's weird sometimes in the way it thinks about it.
We always have a live draft the football night to kick off. So like we usually have 7:30 on the Thursday night because it takes a while.
Yeah.
And one year, like I wanted to move the year before, but nobody did, and we used to stream it live. But the draft board wouldn't open up for half the league. It just and then all the picks you have to sort it like the trade picks manually on NFL. All of that went to pot. Nothing worked. So that was the final straw, and I got everybody over to Sleeper.
Yeah, I mean Sleeper's really good. It's much better than other formats. I don't know how they make any money though. That's the only thing I'm weird about.
No, I'm not sure how they do that too. Like, but they must. Well, obviously in America they can do gambling and all that thing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's maybe through them to get money from.
I guess.
But I'm not sure.
Works for me. It's terrible for Fantasy Premier League though. That's one thing. You ever tried to do Fantasy Premier League?
I think some of them tried it last year, and I think it was a complete mess to start with. But they rush into it. That's the problem. Like I have the auto picks turned on because a lot of time if I work a Sunday, I don't get home till like kickoff. So it's handy to have it if somebody doesn't manage it. Because I think it caught a few people out last year when Jalen Warren was playing in like London.
Yeah.
And of course it was like 6:30 in the morning in America. And the night before he said expected to play. He didn't play. Gainwell played, went an absolute fucking mental. And a lot of people missed it because
those people playing in America, they need to pull their socks up a little bit.
I know, we have to do it.
If I can stay up until 2 in the morning watching a game, you fuckers can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to watch one.
You tell them. Well, make sure we cut that one. That's going to go down.
Yeah, please do.
So, out of all the OrkneyBowl teams, obviously you've not played before, but you do have a couple of friends. So, who's your biggest rival?
He's in my division, Bombed. I think it's called Bomb Squad. I forget his team name. Oxford something or other.
Oh, Oxford Barbarians or something, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. That's because you're in the same division.
And I say that because he's an old school friend of mine, and I've known him for 20 odd years, if not more, 25 years. So I want to beat Adam.
Cool. I hope I've not done the fixtures. Have I done the fixtures for that one yet?
Yeah, maybe.
I can't mind how many. You might play them twice if you're lucky.
I hope so. I hope I can kick his ass. He's unfortunately quite good. And he's like a professional accountant and he's very good at maths and spends far too much time doing this. So I'm not massively full of hope that I'm going to beat him, but I'll do my best. Hang on, when am I playing him? Let's have a look.
There is some quirky scoring in this league, so
I've heard. Oxford Barbarians, Adam WJ. Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I know he's a good player. He's a Lions fan as well, so there's kind of an NFC thing there. And but he's a lovely guy, very old friend of mine, and known him for years and years and years. But I hope I can kick his ass.
Well, when you said Oxford earlier on, I wonder if he knows Oxford.
So I do. It's all very incestuous, you know.
Well, it's good. Like I say, like I put a post on again. I said if anybody else knows anybody else that wants to join the waiting list, because obviously people leave each year.
Yeah.
I know that, and I'm still waiting for 3 people to even answer my text messages about paying.
I think a lot of people turn off in the off season though. It'll pick up again once the draft. Once the draft happens in real life, I think then people kind of tune in again.
Yeah,
I know my wife's always like, okay, you can give the odd NFL a rest for 3 months now.
Well, you can't really if you do dynasty because it never really stops. So
No, I know.
so then obviously that'll be our next question. So how many leagues do you actually participate in each year, not including best ball?
Okay, I'm gonna count them. Okay, I don't do best ball. I'm not a big fan, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other leagues I'm in, of which 1, 2, 3, 4 of those are dynasty leagues.
Oh, so it'll be rookie draft soon then.
So seven leagues in total, including this one.
Cool. That's good. Well, this is a nice fun one for the promotion and relegation, and obviously.
Well, I can't. Good thing I'm in the lowest division, so I can't get relegated. So.
But then you can also, you're one of the few that gets a chance. You could, if you make your way all the way up and win every year, you could win lots of different helmets like that.
Well, I'm. That's the goal, man. I want one of those.
They are very nice. I get them custom made in America, so the postage is a bloody fortune, like. But it's a good, like. They are
it's
smart.
nice, man. I think it'd be cool to have one. If I can get a little Burros Stampede helmet, I'm a made man.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You'll get that logo, and then underneath it'll be your team name and the division that you win. So
very cool.
It's very smart.
There is a American football team in Burros, actually.
Right.
Burros, I think Burros Rhinos, but they're not very good. There's also one in Gothenburg and one in Malmo. Weirdly, I was on the board.
You think you'd be able to get a jersey for them?
Huh?
Do they sell jerseys? The Burros?
They probably do. Yeah. Most of these teams kind of sell stuff, but they'll be covered in sponsors, just like sponsors everywhere.
Okay, I don't care. I like collecting strange ones because I've got an Edmonton Elks one from the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, Burros Rhinos, American football. Documents, team shop. Oh yeah, you can buy one online.
How much are they?
The team shop is not working. I'm sorry. But there are other teams. There's Limhamn Griffins down in Malmo. That was the team. I was on the board for Limhamn Griffins for a little while. They have excellent bright purple jerseys. So yeah, they're quite cool. But yeah, so there's a few teams in Sweden.
I'll have a look that one up.
You have to check them out.
I do like some random ones to wear on the show because Craig goes, "Where are they from?"
I think Örebro Black Knights is the one to beat. They're quite good these days. They've got a nice black jersey.
What were they called?
Örebro Black Knights. The spelling is going to be a nightmare, and the pronunciation's terrible. You're going to struggle with it.
Sure. But, yeah. Well, you can text me the name then. I'll
see if I can find you a link and send you stuff.
Cool. That's probably a bit easier. Yeah, because obviously the first we went to Sweden, you went hi, and then they're like hi. I'm like, all they said hi. Like, I was just saying hi. Nothing else.
Yeah, you do pick up the language eventually, but most people here speak pretty good English, so
they do actually. Some of it's better English than I do, to be honest. But
yeah,
but like I say, for me, it was Kristen that I knew because she worked in the pub that I worked in when she was at uni in Stirling. So her and three others lived in a flat, basically a 1-bedroom flat in Edinburgh to save money. And they were all at college and stuff like that. And she met Craig in Glasgow, and then they're getting married over in Sweden, so we went over for it.
Nice.
But yeah, he's a nice guy. He's got his own building business over there now. So,
oh, cool. I mean, it's a nice place to live. It's just, I mean, you live in Orkney, so I can't really complain. As you know, it gets very cold and dark in the winter.
Yeah, but you get proper snow though.
We do get proper snow. We get a lot of snow. We have a ski slope in my town, which is pretty cool.
Nice. Like when we Kristen got married in October, so we went there with jumpers and coats, and it was like a heat wave. I had to go and buy T-shirts and all that stuff just to get going. And then the day after we flew away, the snow came. Yeah, was raging because you wanted to see proper snow.
I mean, it is when it gets cold here. It does get very cold.
It does. You're in the proper minuses up there.
Yeah, minus. I think we had -20 this winter. It's pretty chilly.
Yeah, I think the closest we get maybe -2, but like feels like -19 or whatever. But
yeah, if you get the wind, Yeah, when when it gets really icy cold here, it freezes up and it is cold.
Yeah.
Like, don't go outside for very long cold.
Yeah. Wouldn't be great for me because I spend most of the year wearing shorts. So,
Oh.
as you're only in 7 weeks, what player do you tend to draft the most, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea?
What singular player do I
You
tend
have
to
like
draft?
a tendency to always try and get the same player in a draft.
Despite me saying I think he's slightly overrated, I always end up. I see if CD Lamb's there at like the top of the second or the back of the first, I'm usually taking him. I know I kind of have a. I tend to be very old school. I probably shouldn't give away my draft strategy on air, but I always tend to go for kind of running back one, and then I will try and take a good wide receiver too. So usually it's someone like, if he's there, Lamb. I can occasionally end up with. I've had Stephon Diggs before. I always end up with Travis Kelce or George Kittle. Always seem to be on my team. I always take those guys too high. So yeah, any kind of good pass catcher in the sort of second to third round is someone I usually go for. Like
anybody that knows me, I tend to do like to draft running backs.
Yeah,
I'm a bit old school. I always like to draft
yeah.
running backs.
Well, Adam, who does the Oxford Barbarians, he's always in every league I'm in, he always seems to have like a horde of like 15 running backs and no wide receivers. So yeah, I like those guys. I never seem to get any Lions for some reason, probably because Adam takes them all.
Probably.
But yeah, no, I think those kind of guys are typically good. I do tend to probably sway for Cowboys players if they're there and I need that kind of position. I just go, I like him, I know him.
Oh, you're in the same draft spot as me. You're on number 8.
Oh, Terry McLaurin's another one I always seem to end up with. I like Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, because you usually get him quite later on, like the 5th, 6th round sort of thing. It's not.
Yeah, for some reason he always drops. He's not that. He's pretty good, but he can be a bit inconsistent, I guess.
Yes. Well, I think Adam's a pick 11. I think he is in your draft, and you're pick 8. So.
I mean, I have no idea who I'm going to take. Like, we'll just wait and see what the board falls like, and who ends up getting drafted. I mean, depending on who goes and where this person is drafted, I could see myself being tempted by Love. I think a young running back is always fun to take. I don't know. Wait and see. Don't know. All depends on what everyone else does.
Well, that's it. You can only pick what's in front of you. So.
I mean, your first pick is not usually the one that's going to make or break your league. It's the 5 after that are the ones that you are going to make the difference.
Definitely. Like, no, last year, the year before, I had the 101. So obviously I picked McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I traded with Luke for the 108, and he got my second and third pick. I think I got it. I should have taken a 4th off him. I got a later one. Then I took Breece Hall. And it was just, I thought I was quite happy with that because everybody thought he was coming back. And then, so yeah, basically I got relegated that year, not surprising.
I had, last year I was in one of the Volvo leagues, and I took Jamar Chase, and I doubled back and I got Joe Burrow. And I was like, I was really happy with that. And then just Burrow was injured immediately and Chase was shit. So it's like,
I know, it's a tough one because obviously they have to be together for them to really do well. Like,
yeah.
And unfortunately, Burrow just gets killed too often.
Yeah. Well,
like I say, when I said in one of the other, so when he's fit, he's probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks because he's such a good quarterback.
I think
you just got to keep him on the field.
I think he's definitely one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. Yeah, easily. I mean, I think Mahomes is still good. I mean, I know he's had a bad season last year and was injured, but him, Burrow, Allen, there's a couple of others. So I know.
Yeah, I saw one rookie thing and they had Jackson Dart rating number 8. I'm like, that's a bit, because then he's only played a few
Bit
games.
rich. It's a
I
bit
know, it's
rich.
very, very rich, because like, I'd rather have Prescott at the moment, but yeah, I might have to mute that one out, because I'll probably get slagged off for saying that by Kelly.
You can cut that out.
So, talking about, like, I've had a few bad ones in my time, but who's the worst player you've ever drafted? So you picked up, or maybe Burrow in second when he gets injured.
No, I mean that was bad. But worst player I've drafted. I don't know if I drafted him or what, but I remember I had Johnny Football in my team,
God, yeah.
and this was like I think my second year playing fantasy, and I thought I was being really fucking clever. And I had Romo and the season that he was balling out, and Manziel came in and started like halfway through the season. I thought, yeah, okay, I think Romo's kind of done. He's going to edge us out, and I put Manziel in, and he was just like getting like 1 point a game. I thought, no, he'll be fine. Second game, he'll turn it on. So I put him in, started him again the next week, same fucking thing. And I think I lost him. I've lost like in the playoffs by like 1.5 points, and he got me like 1 point.
He was a bit of a disaster.
Oh man, Johnny Football, definitely Johnny Football.
Johnny Lackey Football, I think the word is.
So, Johnny, do everything but play football.
Yeah, so it's been a few of them over years, but he was pretty bad. But the hype with him, though, that was the thing. And
yeah. I totally bought into it, and it was stupid. My bad.
These things happen. Like you say, at least you're in the bottom division. If you do it this year, you're not going to get relegated.
No, I don't think I'll do it again. I know, I'm sure there's been others that I've done. I think it wasn't a bad player that I drafted, but a really poor decision I made was in a dynasty league. I had I drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I had him on my bench, and he didn't do anything for like 5 or 6 weeks. I think he barely even played, and I had an injury, and it's like, okay, I need to cut somebody and bring in a starter, and so I cut him. Ooh. And that was the week that he had his big breakout and went for like 17, 18 points, and has been doing so ever since in that league against me every year since
just
that first release. Yeah. So that was pretty bad. I don't think that was a bad pick. I just think it was me being a shit owner.
Yeah, you're just not being patient enough. But then you've got to do that and drop players like that. Like one of my worst ones was in the keeper league. I had Le'Veon Bell when he went absolutely mental the 1 year, and I had him as a keeper the next year. He didn't even play.
Was that when he did his contract holdout?
And of course, there was only 6 bench spots on the team because it was a keeper, and it was NFL. So I couldn't put him on IR. I had to keep him on my bench if he ever came back. He didn't. So it wasn't a good year. And another one was in the second year of Dynasty. I won the league the first year, and Clyde Edwards, I traded up for the 101. It cost me quite a bit. I went Clyde Edwards because he was with the Chiefs. I thought, it's got to be good.
Yeah, well, everybody
my team's still recovering from that one.
I think everybody thought it was going to be good, and then it was rubbish.
Garbage. In fact, it was worse than garbage.
Well, I'm interested to see how Walker does there this season, but I don't know. Wait and see.
I know. Like, I do like Walker, but he was good like in the playoffs when he had nobody to go with him, and they're probably going to do the same because I don't think there's going to be much.
Well, they might take off. I mean, they're in a good position to do so.
But then I've just paid Walker. So,
yeah,
it could be a Chiefs thing to do. You don't know. Like there's like have him behind, but it'd be a hell of a 1-2.
I think they're going to go wide receiver. I think they need to have someone more stable alongside Rice. Or I don't think there's a good enough tight end to replace Kelsey at that point.
No. I don't know what they're like next year, but like I say, Kelsey did okay in fantasy last year. He didn't do much. He wasn't the fastest, but Ken, for points wise in the OrkneyBowl, he did actually not too bad.
I mean, I think he might not be a bad mid-round pick this year. I mean, he's still a good red zone target. And as long as he stays fit, I think he'll get the ball. It'd be a bit like Whitten in the old days, right?
Yeah. As long as you get to the red zone.
I think they probably will.
I still remember that game was he had like 5 yards and 3 touchdowns. Was it against the Raiders or something?
I think I'd get 5 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Raiders.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, it was just they weren't really hard catches either because it was a Raiders defense. So, are you doing any work in fantasy football or anything like that?
No, I wish I could give you a more interesting answer. No, I'm not.
It's okay. 80% of the people will say no, but I still ask it for the couple that will
No,
say yes.
I did look into once upon a time seeing if I could do something for PFF in my spare time, but it's a lot of work and not a lot of money. And PFF have now kind of disappeared and been wound up in the last couple of weeks. So
I heard
no,
that, yeah.
But no, not really done anything.
No, I don't. I just do these podcasts, but it doesn't mean I know what the hell I'm doing. Like
No. I mean, I have spent some time sort of pulling data from fantasy platforms and playing around with that a little bit and a couple of years ago, but nothing exciting or interesting.
Cool. So, and obviously, do you do anything? What do you sort of do for fun outside of the fantasy football? Obviously, not golf.
Not a golfer, no. I do a lot. I mean, I have 2 kids, so a lot of my time is taken up with looking after kids and being taxi. We went to theme park today with the kids, which was great fun. I spend a lot of time at work. I love my job, so I work in marketing for Volvo, which is good fun. I like going to concerts and gigs and things. Went to see last band I went to see was a Scottish band, Biffy Clyro, who I'm sure you know.
Oh yeah.
I collect records as well. I have a big record collection in the lounge. I love my music. I like occasionally trying to work out and keep fit, although having children doesn't really work very well with that. No. I don't bits and pieces. I love traveling when I get the chance. I used to love to go traveling with my wife lots. Again, prior to having kids, kids are kind of a pain for that sort of stuff. Yeah. But no, I just kind of live my life and get on with stuff, and I enjoy really like mundane things like cooking and music, and very generic and boring. But yeah, all the sort of foibles of a middle-aged dad of 2 kids living in Sweden.
Yes, well, that's the thing. Because what's that?
I do scouts as well. I'm a scout leader with my son, so that's good fun.
That's a pretty busy job too. Like,
it's like every other weekend you have to spend 3 hours in walking through the woods. It's not that bad.
That's not too bad. My wife did. She helped it with not the guys. It's one of the ones of the lasted ones, and she ended up helping it one day, and then started running it for 2 years.
Yeah, they do tend to kind of wheel you in on that. It's like, oh, you want to be a scout leader? Yeah, okay. Now you've got to come to all these meetings and do this.
No, I just want to have fun with the kids. So we'll get to the last question for you before you get your last question. Well, too.
Yeah.
What sort of question would you like to ask the next person on your show? Who it is,
who is the next person on your show?
I'm just about to check that. I've got
If it's Adam, then I know I'll give him some shit.
Adam's not signed up, so you'll have to make sure he does.
I'll give him a nudge.
And maybe Gatch too. It'd be quite good to get them both on.
I can have a word with Gatch as well. See if he's around. He's very busy.
We have Danny Lawrence.
So.
Danny was a year 1 OrkneyBowl winner.
Oh. Do you ever feel
Danny's a Giants man.
Okay. Then I'm ready. Like, do you ever feel threatened by the high incoming new talent to the league that are going to put pressure on the existing members?
I'll see what he says about that one. I'll give him a heads up on the question though, because it's a bit.
I say that slightly tongue in cheek for the.
You know what to spend on. So here comes your question. You did hear it before you started. You didn't get much of a.
All right.
Advance. So.
I had to think about this and had a little bit of assistance from ChatGPT. What player won you the most respect as a fantasy manager?
DeMarco Murray.
Oh, it definitely wasn't Johnny Manziel. Most respect as a fantasy manager. I don't think I've ever got any respect as a fantasy manager. I don't think any of my teammates will ever give me any respect. What player? What was that? What was the running back who played for the Cardinals?
James Conner?
No, years ago.
Oh,
he had like one amazing season. I forget his name now. It was the year, would have been about 2019.
David Johnson?
Yes, David Johnson.
I can type faster.
I picked up David Johnson in like the 7th or 8th round, and he basically won me the league that year.
He was awesome. Did he not get injured no long after?
Yeah, he was like
Never
he did
the same again.
Yeah, every year after that he was terrible, but that year he won me the league, and I won a dynasty league in that first year because of David Johnson.
He was a good fantasy running back the year he was.
That one year he was great. So I don't think I got any respect for that, but that's probably the closest.
I don't know if he means that the player that you respect for like winning you games than respect from your opponents for picking up a player.
I think if you, I find it hard to believe that any of my mates would ever give anybody else any respect for a pick. They just give you more shit and say that you got lucky. But yeah, I know players I respect for winning me leagues. I know there's probably been a few, but I haven't won enough leagues to make that really a viable choice.
Well, also the other things, I put in the group chats that link for Dynasty Locker. You should have a go at it. It's quite good. It does take a while to load all your sleeper leagues because it does all the ones in the past. But once it's all in, it actually gives you your winning record overall and how many games, and it gives you all the leagues that you've been in past and future and gives you all the scores. It's actually good. For the stats thing, it's quite nice, and all the past drafts and stuff like that.
I'll have to give that a go. So, I'll check that out.
And if you know people that are on Sleeper that are on it, you can search for the username and you can follow them too.
Cool. I'll check that out. I'd be interested to see that. I
should be on a commission. I'm telling everybody to go on it.
Yeah, you should do. I mean, that'd be quite cool. I'd be interested to see. I think I'm probably like 500. I think we have. I did like a manual pull of the data from one of my dynasty leagues. And it's really weird when you look at it. It's like, because you can see the people who've won the league the most. I've won that league twice, I think. Gatch has won it 3 times, and a couple of other guys have won it once or twice. And it's weird. The guys who have won the league the most times are in the bottom half of winning percentage overall. So that most of the time they're terrible. And then the years they're not terrible, they absolutely smash it. So maybe it's just like a bravery thing. Like you just pick wild players, and if they come off, then they work really well. But again, I guess I'm a bit like the Dallas Cowboys and that, like consistently mediocre.
Yeah, well, my win rate in Sleeper, which is including best balls, is 50.3%.
There you go.
But I've won 56 championships, 32 runners up, 53 third places, and 270 playoff appearances.
I'm going to have to give this thing a go now. I have to check it out.
When you can search by year, last year it was in 114. That had a lot of best balls. I had a 63% win rate and 20 titles.
That's pretty good.
In 2023, I think that's the year I got relegated. I had 174 leagues, and I had a 44% win. I just took on too much. But it also gives you the stat and how many playoffs I made. Last year I made 75 out of 114 playoffs. So it's quite a good stat. Like it does take a long time to load all your teams, and you've got to create an account.
I'll see if post the link again. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll give it a crack.
Well, I'll send you the thing. Like I say, Luke got a bit fed up and stopped doing it. But it does take a while because it gives you all your archive leagues as well, so you can filter it out. Wow. So it does a long time to get all the stats, but when you do it, it's very smart. But I'll send you the link after the show.
Yeah, man, do please. That'd be great. I'll check it out.
But thank you for coming on, and it's been a bit
Oh,
longer
my
than
pleasure.
it's been a bit
My
longer than
pleasure.
45 minutes, but it's been fun.
That's right. Everyone's here. It's gone to bed, so I'm gonna finish up here and go grab myself a drink, and then I'm gonna hit the hay.
Good stuff. I've got the golf on the other screen, so.
All right, Johnny. Thank you for your
So-
time, and it was really fun, man.
We'll
Looking
get-
forward to this year, and I hope. I feel a bit silly asking a silly question when the person before me gave me actually a good question.
Well, in theory, you did ask ChatGPT, so it's a bit of a cheat.
All right.
But yeah,
Well,
thanks for coming on, and good luck this
No,
year.
man, my pleasure, and I
And-
look forward to this year, and I look forward to a bit of banter and a bit of fun.
And there'll be the weekly shows with Craig, and they're usually quite fun because he's.
I'll see if I can catch a few. I've got to try and fit it in with work and stuff.
Oh, they're always on YouTube, so you can always catch them up at any time. So we'll catch you. See you later.
Oh man, it'll be good.
Bye.
I'll give it a go.